I was like you once upon a time a FAMA fellow, um, doing the same course that you are doing, maybe once in India and once in Philadelphia. And then I followed up with a MHP in Maastricht, and I'm the co-director of the Mumbai GSMC FAMA Regional Institute and global faculty for FAMA. It has been my fortune to have come twice to Egypt to teach in the ASU MENA FRI. Unfortunately, this time I could not come. So I'm at least lucky that we are going to have one or two sessions online. So wonderful to see all of you. I'm a psychiatrist by profession, a professor in a tertiary medical teaching hospital in Mumbai. Um, I can see that we're yet having 3, 4 people to join in. So while we wait for them to come, is this one of your early sessions?
Yes, ma'am.
You've had one introduction session, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So I'm the one who's a stranger. You all know each other. Sort of.
We didn't have the chance to be introduced to each other properly.
Oh, that's not happened?
Yes, that didn't
Okay.
happen.
All right. So, well, we will get to know each other better along the way. We have a session where we will be introducing each other. And that, I guess, is when you all meet. So, right now, what we are hoping is that at least let me give you a background till the others join. That the FAMA curriculum is so designed that there are certain strands that are there. So one strand is leadership and management, one is program evaluation and management, one is good teaching learning practices, and one is on research and scholarship. And the center of it all is your project work, which acts as a vehicle on which you apply everything that is going on along the way. So we are trying to make it into an experiential learning process. And and it is all surrounded by two main philosophies. One is creating a community of practice, and the second thing is cultural humility. So if I could, in a snapshot, tell you about the curriculum, this is it. So the leadership and management curriculum has three main objectives. One is understanding yourself. The second thing is understanding your teams and working with them. And the third is understanding your organization. We do work on the first and second to quite some extent over these 2 years, where we try to help you to understand your teams, understand yourself, working with teams. Because each organization is different and contexts are different, we do not work as much on the third part is understanding your organizations. We have a wee bit happening over there, but not as much as that we could cover for the first two. So today's first session really is about understanding your leadership style. So let me begin with sharing my slides first. And if you do have a WhatsApp group of your FAMA fellows of your cohort, your batch, please put in a message that we are starting. If you join in a little late, you miss out on the understanding. So if you have that, please remind them that it's time to join. All right, so today's session is really understanding your leadership style. So the objectives of this session are, before this session happened, we sent you out a note and we asked you to fill out some questionnaire, which all of you all have done. Had any of you done this before? Has anybody done this before?
I haven't been.
No. Oh, okay. So most people haven't, so it's a first time. So we gave you a kind of a questionnaire, and at the end of it, the results came as 4 alphabets. So we want to give you a theoretical overview of what those things mean, and then explain those alphabets and validate it, whether you agree that this is what you are, and eventually give you an idea how to understand and use this type preferences. All right. So that's why that is the objective for today. And while we get these 4 types and we get a preference type, we are not keen to pigeonhole people that this is this type, so we can do this work, or that this person has this as a strength, or therefore they're good at this. What we are trying to understand is you get to know yourself better, understand yourself better, know your strengths and weaknesses, and therefore work better. All right? Jung had said, behavior is individual and predictable. And really, based on his work, Myers and Briggs, with a mother and a daughter combination, came out with a test where they tried to sort kind of people according to their preference styles. And then they came out with this test, which is called the MBTI, Myers-Briggs Trait Inventory, which is a paid test. And we tend to use this free version, which is based on that because it's free. And you also have to be trained by the trainers of MBTI to use their paid version. So we use the free version to try and understand what is our preference style. Remember, we are not saying you're this type. It's nothing to do with types. It's just your preference style. This is what you're more likely to do in normal circumstances, right? That's what we're trying to understand at this stage. May I request you to make it mute, please? What are our assumptions? That everyone has a preferred pathway to excellence, a preferred way of working while we go towards excellence. And when we understand this preference style or type, it can explain some behavior, but not all. And there are great variations because when Myers-Briggs came out with it, these are the 16 preference styles that are there. So if you look at the whole universe of the human population and put them in these 16 squares, you know that within a square there'll be millions of people, so all can't be the same. But they have certain commonalities. And even within one, there would be great variation. But it would give you some idea as to what could be your way of thinking and functioning. We don't want to use this to determine, okay, if I am ENTP, I should do this kind of work. That's really not the way to use it. We don't want to stereotype, oh, she's a J, therefore she does this well, or she's a P, and therefore she can't do this. We don't want to stereotype based on this. We want to use it for self-management, understand yourself better. And then why have we, oops, that slide has gone a little bad. Why have we used the MBTI or the free version of MBTI? Because it helps us to understand the self better. There is a theory behind it. It is used internationally, and it is non-judgment. Even people who are in the Harry Potter favorites, each of the Harry Potters also has got some designation. So it's a widely used thing. And the original MBTI is available in so many languages. Remember, I again repeat, we are not using the paid one, we are using a free one which is available, which is made apparently on the basis of this test. It will help us, to understand ourselves, And once we understand ourselves, we can reduce communication misunderstanding. It will also help us to understand others and therefore give an insight into what or how to communicate to them and how to communicate in such a way that they can understand what you are saying or can appreciate what you're saying. Because that is when you know what they want or how they think, you can talk to them in that manner. All right. So before we go ahead, you remember all of you all gave that test? Please keep the report ready because I want you to use that report. Do you all have your reports with you?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Uh,
So take out that report.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Sorry, ma'am. Do you mean the report of the personality test?
Yes, yes. You know those 4 alphabets that came? You don't have
I
it?
think I can pick it from the email. No. I think I can go to my email and I
Yeah,
think I can
everybody
pick it.
needs
Yes.
it right now. So I'm giving you a moment to get it open so that you'll all have that report as we start. Okay, so I'll give you a moment to find your report. Once you have it, put a thumbs up so I know that everybody's got it in front of them. Good, Zainab. I can see that you have it. Sarah, Gamal, okay. Lots of people having it. Great. How can I get it? Shireen, you must have done it. Okay. Let me also try and get it. I have a copy of it. So hold on. I'll get it for you.
And just type personality test in the search, she will find it easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did this.
What I'm also doing is I'm going to share it. We had made a list. So if I can share that list, you will have that to see also. Can you see that paper that I've shared?
Yeah.
I think it has all your results in it, right? Can you see all 30 results are there? So if anybody has missed it, I'm just scrolling it, have a look at it. All right, everybody got it? Okay. All right, now that everybody has it, let's start. Okay, now the rest of the session is really trying to understand what is going on and what those 5, 6 things mean. All right? And okay, so everybody in the group is also saying they've got it. Fine. So now we are going to put you in this breakout room. Okay, this is breakout room 1, 2, and 3. And during the sessions, we'll keep changing the breakouts room. So for this first 15-20 minutes, you're in this breakout room. So group 1, group 2, and group 3. All right, you just need to know which group you are in, and they will put you in the right groups. Okay. So what are you going to do in the groups? So what we want you to do once you get into the group is discuss how would you naturally approach a vacation that is scheduled 4 months from now. So suppose it's May that you're planning a vacation. How would you approach it? Like today is there, and May you may be going for a holiday. So what would you do? So we want you to go in your groups and discuss this. All right? Have you understood what you have to do?
Yes.
Sure.
Any questions as to what is there? We'll put you in your breakout group. In your breakout group, in the groups, you will discuss. You are going on a vacation in May. How would you naturally approach this vacation? All right, that's the instruction. You do what you want. I'm going to get you all back after 10 minutes, and then we're going to ask you to report. So somebody is going to keep the time that 10 minutes are going on, and somebody is going to come back and collate all the report that they have got and present it here. All right?
May I ask
Instruction-
for something?
Yes,
May I
please.
ask? Each group should have one view for how to arrange the vacation or different views.
It can be anything. You don't have to have one view. We don't have to prove one is common. We just want to hear what happens in the discussion over there. Okay? It can be multiple views, it can be different views, anything is okay. But we want you to capture it and get it back to us, and we want you to keep 10 minutes timing.
Okay.
All clear?
How to go to the group, how to reach the group.
Yeah, so now you will have to do nothing. The organizers will put you in the group. Hekmat is there. She's see to it that you will all get into the group. Okay? Are we ready to let them to go in the group? Zena?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
Doctor.
So please put them in the group and enjoy your talk. That's one way of knowing all the people who are in your groups. Okay? It's a nice thing to talk about, going on a vacation.
Okay.
That was quick. Well done, Zainab.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'll give them 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, we'll get them back. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All well with all of you all?
مساء الخير يا دكتور زينب. دكتور زينب، المفروض في مسج ظهرت لحضرتك، ممكن تضغطي عليها. هات اللي يا زينب.
I think Zainab has dropped out of the group. She needs to go back.
Okay, we will contact with her.
Thank you.
You please break one. Thank you. مساء الخير على حضراتكم. أستاذة زينب، أنا مش عارفة
أنا سامعة حضرتك يا دكتور زينب. في رسالة بتظهر عند حضرتك المفروض بتعملي لها accept.
مش عارفة.
لا، إما أستأذن حضرتك تخرجي من الميتنج وترجعي تدخلي تاني يا دكتور.
أيوة.
ظهرت عند حضرتك؟
طيب معلش ممكن تحاول.
يا خربت. Please rename iPhone.
رجعت تاني كده، ممكن أدخل على البريك روم.
تمام، هنبعت لحضرتك الرسالة دلوقتي.
انا بعتها.
الرسالة اتبعتت كده لحضرتك.
دوسي جوينت يا دكتور.
ظهرت لك الرسالة يا دكتور زينب؟
we've finished, Dr. Hilal.
Yes, everybody will be coming back and then we shall start
Yes.
talking. Thank you, Islam.
We loved the activities and we want to make it, ya doctor, not only on papers.
And I think if we did this, I think we can get the fellowship without anything because we have three nationalities, we have many different personalities. So I think if we could do this, it would be something great.
Hmm. I don't think all the groups have come back, so we'll just wait for them to join. Did you have a good time
Sorry,
talking about
guys.
it?
I went to the restroom for 5 minutes. Can you brief me?
We will
Sorry.
let you know soon. Just wait for a moment.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Actually, it's a very limited time.
All right. I think
We can't
everybody is.
participate.
Yes, tell me.
You give us 4 months vacation and only 10 minutes to discuss this vacation.
No, I
Yes.
didn't say 4 months. I said the vacation was after 4 months. You
Yes.
had to decide how many days. So,
Actually, we didn't decide how many days. We decided everything else.
Okay. We shall come into this and discuss it. But it looks like you all had a good time discussing it anyway. Am I
Yeah.
right? It was
Yes.
fun talking about it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's hear somebody from group 3. Who is going to report from group 3?
Okay, so how are you, everybody? I'm Dr. Mahrous. I'll present the opinion of our colleagues. Actually, everyone shared according to the available time. Globally, they want to choose first the appropriate time for vacation, and then they will arrange for every step in this vacation. And some of them will take time for family, their families, their kids. Some will go with their friends. Actually, all of them agree about they want to fulfill the missing or delayed work. If there is any delayed work, they will finish it in this vacation. They will go to write some books, prepare some researches. Some of them, they will attend some conferences. And after that, they will go for for social programs. They will arrange it. Some sports, new hobbies. So that's all. This is what they are, all of us talk about.
Thank you, Maru. So I'm going to ask a little more details, and that's open to him and the others in that group. So did anybody decide where they were going, how they were going, what would they do in those days? Let's hear if anybody had that discussion.
Actually, the limited time. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. Rado.
It's in our group, not yours, in group 2.
Actually, the limited times, they didn't give us this chance to go in details. But one of our colleagues, they said that they will choose the appropriate time and they will make arrangement for this vacation. They will step by step.
So what were the steps they were going to talk about?
No one talk about this. If we want to complete, we can ask our colleagues to complete. Yeah.
All right. So, no, we'll come back to it. So what was decided is that you'll finish off your pending work for some, then you'll decide on the holiday whether it would include family, friends, or with other people. You would decide how to go, and then step by step, you would finish it. All right. Because of lack of time, you didn't come back to the steps. Let's hear from group 2.
Okay, I'm going to wrap our discussion. First we decided how we can decide the place based on the timing. So we chose Red Sea because it will be. We chose May, and Red Sea will be a better place in May. We said that we are going to choose the place based on our partner's recommendation, our budget, and so on. So after we decided that it will be suitable to go to Sharm el-Sheikh, then we had to find the outcome or the aim of the application. It is about taking a rest. So we had to finish the work before we go to the vacation. So we will not have pending work when we come back. We are going to enjoy the beach, the rest, sightseeing in Sinai for those who are foreigners, and we are going to be to choose places that we can be disconnected from the working environment and the internet. We are going to have sightseeing in Sinai, diving and skydiving as an activities in Sharm el-Sheikh, and that's what we discussed.
Dr. Hinal, I just want to add something that we faced some challenges here because we have three nationalities from three different countries, India, Sudan, and Egypt. Then we asked them which is hotter in May. Both said for sure India and Sudan. Then both of them accepted to join us in Egypt first. Then so I think we picked the Sinai because of the historical places, so we will satisfy their needs to see a different culture. So we have some challenges, and I think in 10 minutes it's good to pick a location of within these circumstances.
Thank you. Thank you, both of y'all, Doha and Islam, for giving us, in that 10 minutes, y'all decided which country, which city, what are the things you're going to do in the city, how many days y'all are going to go, how you're going to finish your work so that you can enjoy it in peace, and even what kind of sightseeing you're going to do, what you're going to do on the beach. So a lot was decided in that 10 minutes. Wonderful. Let's talk to group one. Who's going to report from group one?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, please go
Hi,
ahead.
I'm Dr. Ahmed Alfi. We were planning to go to Spain. First of all, we planned the date, we planned the budget, we planned the ticket and the hotel reservation. We chose a hotel at the center of the city. We're actually going to Madrid first, then we were going a couple of days for Barcelona. And we will go one day to Andalusia. That was my preparation, and I left my dear female colleagues to prepare the vacation there, to prepare where we're gonna go. Shopping, of course, it was the first priority, to go to monuments and to historical places, and to go to the beach of Barcelona. It's well known of its great Mediterranean beach. And my colleague, the other colleague, was responsible for the memories and taking the photos and preparing the cameras. And we did plan in advance the vacation we will take from our work. Actually, it was 1 week vacation. Because of course it's gonna be expensive. We couldn't do it more than this. Hopefully everything will be great and we'll enjoy our vacation.
Thank you. So if I can ask all three of you, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Zainab, Amani, and Omar. Normally, do you plan your vacations 4 months in advance? I mean, would you start working on it if you were left to yourself? When do you start working on your vacation?
Yes. If abroad, yes, of course, because first of all, visa and the budget and the work preparation we have to take the vacation for. And the tickets, of course, it's more expensive.
Let me ask once again. So you would start working 4 months in advance. Would you start working 1 year in advance?
Actually, I did it once before, but it was a special occasion. I was going
But
to.
normally, no. In a natural
1 month. 1 month.
Abroad,
1 month before the vacation.
Amani, that is you that says 1 month?
Yes.
If it is
All right.
abroad, if it is abroad, maybe 3 to 4 months. But if it is local in the same country, maybe 1 month before it.
All right. So we are seeing a different kind of response. You know, they're planning to talk about it and go to a holiday, mostly 1 month. If they're in the country, they would decide and they would go. And then when do you plan your holiday, Zainab or Amani? Do you kind of do all the detailing? Day 1, 9 o'clock, I will do this. 10 o'clock, I will do this. 11 o'clock, I will do this. Do you do that?
No, not that much detail.
No.
It's more about fun. It's more about having the company. It's more about arranging the company and having fun.
So
And
you
then,
will decide spontaneously what to do over there?
no,
Yes.
no. If it is abroad, we will have a different schedule. يعني a preliminary schedule. But if it
Yeah.
is here, maybe spontaneous in the same
All
country.
right. Reham, you have your hands up. Let's hear what you have to say. Reham, you've got your hand up.
Yes,
Unmute yourself.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of person.
Yes,
Yes,
tell
I'm a
me.
kind of person that I scheduleize. Yes, I'm a kind of person that I scheduleize. If I'm traveling abroad, yes, I scheduleize every single detail before I go abroad. Yes. Yani,
All right.
the last year, I scheduleize for traveling abroad with my children. We scheduleize every single detail before we travel abroad with my children. Yes, I did that.
Thank you, Ram. I understand because you're going abroad, one
Thank
is
you.
worried. But even if you were going, you were in Egypt in a small, you were just going 2 hours away, would you work in such detailing? So there are different, and I'm coming back. Wait, I'm not asking for an answer, but I'm just trying to say that people work differently. Those are those which like to plan everything meticulously. What time will they leave? How will they leave? What will they do there? How will they go? How much time on this? How much money on this? Every detailing. And then there are some, to some extent, Zainab and Amani, who will say, oh, if we are in Egypt only, we'll go there and do things spontaneously. Remember, neither is better than the other, but these are two different approaches. So let's talk a little bit about these kind of approaches. We use this example to give you this approach that could be there. So, oops. So, once again, let me get this out. People do things. One is they perceive their environment, and secondly, they make a judgment about what they have perceived. That's how life works. What we can say, perceiving is gathering data. You gather data. If it's a holiday, where do I want to go? Do I need a visa? Is the weather going to be hot? What kind of food will be there? All those kind of things, you gather data. And based on that data, you make a decision. You judge from all that data that you have gathered. In other words, we perceive and then we judge. We gather information and then we decide, right? That's what most people would do. But you see, there are people of different kinds. Some people, when they interact with the outer world, prefer to keep gathering information and information and information. They're in no hurry to make a decision or a judgment. At least as far as we can make out, they're slow in making their decisions. They don't want to decide. They want to keep it open. Oh, 4 months. We will see what happens by that time and I can decide then. These people have a preference style which we call as perceive. And the last letter of the type will be P, right? So that is their alphabet. Now, on the other hand, there are people, so these people who are P, let's finish with them. They prefer to remain open and adapt to new information. So they like collecting information and they'll keep collecting and then decide, in due course of time. There's no pressure to make a decision. While on the other hand, there are people who interact with the outer world and they prefer to make a decision about the data they've gathered as soon as possible. They'll quickly gather data and then make a decision. And they don't really need a lot of information to make a decision. With just a few points, they'll be ready to make a judgment. These people have a preference style to judge. Last alphabet of their type is J. So people who are the judging preference style like to come to closure and act on the decisions. Gather data quickly, make a decision and act. That is J. P, keep gathering information. No hurry to make decisions right now. So if we look at judging versus perceiving, judging want things to be settled, ordered. They are like deadlines and they're time oriented. They like goals and they like the results. They hate surprises and they're very organized in their life. Ps want things to be flexible, open. There's always plenty of time. They like to see what turns up. They enjoy surprises. They have more piles than files as far as organization goes. Judging like to draw conclusions fast and they're quick to commit to their plans or decisions. They like routines. They plan ahead and get it done early. They keep making lists and use them. Perceiving, they like to be tentative, let's see, maybe, and like to change plans or decisions. They find routines very boxing and limiting. They like to go with the flow. Well, they make lists. If they do, they'll lose them and not use them. So if you had to see, this is the time, this is the task, who is this, J or P? What do you think?
J.
All right.
J.
What is this?
This is J.
And this?
D.
B.
Right. So you all have got the concept. The preference styles,
Doctor,
both are good.
Dr.
Let me tell
Hinam.
you. Yeah, I'm coming to you. I'll give you time to ask a question.
Yeah.
But both are good. Not one is better than the other, but both are different. Judges, they love it. They make a schedule for every day of the vacation. Perceivers will get mad. Oh my God, you've made a schedule for every day. And then just imagine if you're all together in a team, how difficult it is for you. Judges have a to-do list, right? Perfect. Put there. Perceivers list is, I'll wake up and see how I feel and then I'll decide. All right. Before we go to the next thing, I'm going to put this, stop sharing this and take questions for this. Yes, tell me. Questions?
It wasn't a question. I think there is no distinguishable personality type. I think the judges should have some flexibility, and the perceiver should have some plan. But the difference is that perceiver has or have their plans in their mindset, and they may be very organized, and the judger may be very wrong in their plans. So I think it's not like right or left. I think always there is a mix inside everyone
So I'm
between
coming
this
to
and that. Yeah.
let me come to that. Everybody is not black and white, and there is a spectrum. And if you see your report, it takes 5%, 10%, 20%, 50%. So how much of it you are varies. So if you look at your report, if the midline is there, how much near the J you are or the P you are. So further away you are from the midline, you're more likely to be a J or P. If you're near the midline, you're having both characteristics. So again, I am not saying one is better than the others, but yes, people have different preference styles. I know that I'm a P, so I could make this presentation yesterday and come today and talk about it. But very often, if I'm working, I do this sometimes with a colleague of mine. Say when we are in India, I'm doing this session. But she is a J. So 2 months before she starts saying, let's get our slides together, let's get the syllabus together. And so her preference style is to be ready and done with. My preference style is that even if I've done it, I may just change the whole thing the day before. So it's just different styles. And you have to understand people work differently. Imagine if you were the kind, even for spouses, if you were the kind who wanted a holiday completely planned and your spouse wanted it spontaneous, very difficult. If you were a colleague in a team and you were planning the curriculum and the exams, and one is a complete J and a complete P, it's difficult. So understanding and communicating, you're not fixed. Everybody adapts. So even if I'm a P, if I'm working with somebody who's a J, or even if I'm working alone, I know that I have to give my material to Randa and to Zainab so that you can put it on Moodle. So I will have to do it earlier. But that is not my natural style. So
Yeah.
we may change to adapt.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you should
I
understand
do agree.
your natural style. All right?
I do agree.
Okay, now from there, let's go to the next part. Now we are going to try and go to the second alphabet, which is either S or N. All right, now let's go over there. So now we have three different groups again, and we are going to put you in these three groups. And what are you supposed to do in those three groups? I'm showing you this picture. I want you to look at it, and then I want you to discuss it in your group. Describe this picture in your group, and then remember, we'll give you 10 minutes. You have to monitor the time, and somebody will come and report out. All right? So I'm giving you a minute first to look at the picture before we put you in the groups. Have a look. All right. Please put them in the groups.
Okay. دكتور زينب، ممكن حضرتك تقبلي الرسالة؟
All right, it seems everyone's back. So let's go to group 2. Let's hear your description of this picture. And let me just show you, remind you which is the picture that we were seeing. Right? We were seeing this picture.
Okay.
Now let's see what they have to say. Who's speaking for group 2?
Doha.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
Doha. Tell.
Okay. We had multiple information from this picture. We decided it's the place is by the beach, timing in summer, and at the end of the day, because they had a few hours to build this sand castle. This sand castle place was chosen away from the sea that will not be demolished easily by the water. It had many walls and many floors, so it can be a city rather than a castle. It has a wall in the front, not in the back, so it may be this wall was put to prevent the water from destroying the city. This castle indicates a great teamwork. It took a long time, effort, and harmony, sharing the same equipment, having the same size of the castle and the same design. It may be incomplete because some parts are incomplete or destroyed, but some parts are destroyed in the back, so it may be not completed. We also see 8 people having fun at the beach side. They are turning away from the castle, so they may completed their activity building the castle and then moved away. Also, we saw a wooden house at the side of the picture that may be the beach guard house.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Let's go to group 3.
Can I add something in group 2, Dr. Henner?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Yes, one of the participants, Dr. Iman, I think added something nice about the last personality type. She thought that they are judger, not perceivers, because the structure, everything is well organized, many floors. So I think she added this thing that the personality of them are judger, not perceivers. So yeah.
Thank you for that addition. And let's hear from group 3.
Hi again.
All right.
We had 2 different ideas. We were divided between whether this was a vacation and we were going to enjoy it, or it's an assignment for the engineering and architecture departments. Yet at the end we went, it's a vacation, although the studying part, it was nice idea. At the vacation, we were like 15 people of 15 or group of 15 person. Some of us enjoyed the sea and some of us went for a tan. Some went to play racket. The other remaining 6 group, there was 2 from engineering, 3 from architecture, and a doctor and a nurse. We were planning to do a castle. We saw something like that in a movie, and it was very nice. The people who have the skills to prepare such a thing started to design what we're gonna do. The people who are less talented went for getting the equipments and getting the buckets of water. It was nice. It took a lot of effort. We were like 3 to 4 hours to do it, and we were very sad that we're gonna leave it for the water to mess with it.
Oh, thank you so much for that wonderful description. So I'm going to ask somebody from group 1 now to describe it.
Hi, doctor.
Go ahead, Mary.
First of all, we had 2 points of view. The first point of view is that this is a sand castle, which was built by different people. We don't know if they knew each other or not. Maybe they built relations while building this castle. It has an old part in the middle and a recent part in the circumference. Maybe it took more than 1 day to build it. In the background, we have people enjoying themselves by walking by the sea. So everyone had his own way of enjoying himself. Some built castles and some had to enjoy himself by walking by the sea. This was one point of view. Another point of view by one participant is that this was maybe a real castle. So the picture was divided into 2 different timings, an ancient one and a recent one with people at the background enjoying themselves. So these were the points we discussed.
Thank you. And if I can ask you and your group for some more things. So did you all do any more detailing? How many towers are there, or how many floors are there, or how many people are walking? Was that discussed
No,
in your
actually.
group?
No. That's all. Only the dog. We talked about the dog at the end of.
So you saw people walking, you saw a dog, you saw the castle, you saw that there were 2 types of architecture in the castle. Did you all notice anything about some houses behind?
Yes, we saw the house behind and thought that this was maybe the house, the shelter for these people or something like that.
All right. So if you notice, what Mary and a group are really talking about, they say, well, that we saw this picture and then it was a castle. The castle had 2 types of architecture, the older and the newer. There are people walking behind. There's a dog there. People are enjoying themselves. There is a house, and maybe that was a house of people who are staying there. A lot of it is about factual things. We see the other 2 groups, they're saying, we had the third group, right? The third group, which really talked about Omar. Yeah. Omar's group said, they were talking of, should we think of it as architecture or should we think of it as a vacation? Or, they didn't get into details or specifics of about how's the castle, how many people behind, there's a house behind, there is this here. They were talking about it's vacation, vacations are for fun, you make a castle. And between 1 and 2, they also described the castle was made there because so keep it away from the water. Then they had some wall around it to prevent it from something from happening. And then this castle was made in with a different type of design. So they're saying it was the evening because, I don't know why they said it was evening, but they said it was evening. So they are making, not only seeing what is, that there is a castle, they're making assumptions from there. People are walking, they're having fun, it is evening. They did it this way because it can be away from the water. They did this because they can be doing this. So you see, one is taking more facts as is, one is looking at the picture and making more possibilities of what it could be. So let me explain that further by sharing my slides. Here we go. This is about how we take in information. Again, people are different, not that one is better than the other. We look at the second letter, either S or an N, and how we take in information. People who have the S take this information in a precise and exact manner. Those who have intuition, and it is called I, though it's not called I, though it's intuition, because there is another word, introvert, which comes with an I. Therefore, they've used the second alphabet and call it N, right? So people with this preference N of intuition like to take in information in a more innovative and ad hoc manner. Like People who are sensors will like to touch, feel, hear, taste, and tell you all the details as it happens now. An intuitive person, on the other hand, will take all this information and extrapolate it. That maybe it is summer, maybe it is evening, maybe they're having this, maybe the group did this. So they're taking that information which they got from here and they're making extrapolation over there. So this is how these two styles differ. Sensors prefer facts, tried and true. They are very practical, very realistic. They like it to be predictable. The intuitors prefer theory. They like abstract. They like the new and untried. They're dreamers, imaginative. They like change. Sensors see problems as needing solutions, and that solutions come from their past experience. They focus on very practical, doable things. They may not see the big picture, so they can see the tree, but they miss the forest. They want to know what is. On the other hand, intuition look at all problems as opportunities to innovate, based on their inspirations. They focus on what could be, what are the possibilities of this information. And they often see the forest but miss the tree. They want to know what could be. So a sensor will keep looking for more data, while for intuitive, he will look at any data and think of the possibilities with that data. Like, that's a great opportunity. So this is the two differences between sensors and intuition. Any questions in understanding what this means? Does that make sense to you? How you
Sure.
perceive information?
Sure.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. So if you understood this alphabet, now we are going to the third alphabet. All right. These are your groups for the third group. So have a look at the groups and we'll tell you what you're going to do. All right. So let's think of conflict. What is a conflict? What, according to you, is a conflict?
Disagreement.
Disagreement? What else? What is a conflict?
Friction.
Friction? What
Different
else?
opinion.
Strained relation.
Different opinion.
Yeah, different opinion, strained relationships. So
Different perception of the whole part, of the whole thing.
all right. So
Different perception.
disagreement may be a little milder. So when it's a serious disagreement or an argument, usually a long and a protracted one, which is incompatible because people have different opinions, then it's called as a conflict, right? So now let's think of any one conflict situation that we see very often as teachers. One of your students has been bunking classes and has not got the required attendance to give the exam. Is that what it is across in your country also? I know in India you have to have certain attendance, like 80%, before you can appear for the exam. Is that how it is for you in Egypt?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now there is this one student who has bunked many classes, has attendance which is less than 80%, and now cannot give his exam. So he comes to plead to you, please let me give the exam. I want to go in your groups and discuss what you all will do. Okay? So the
No,
next
please again. Please, can you repeat it again?
Yeah. So you are going to your group and going to discuss. This student has got less than 80% attendance and therefore cannot fill the exam form. He comes to you and asks, please let me give the exam. So I am going to ask you, what are you going to do now? So in your group, discuss what you will do. All right, clear?
This has any relation with the picture?
No, nothing to do with the picture. I just put that picture as somebody who's stuck in a conflict.
Any more information about the student?
Nothing more. I want you to discuss in your group
Got you.
and figure out what you all will do. All right? So
Okay.
next 10 minutes, remember, keep the time and somebody to report. Take people who have not reported to come out and report this time. Okay, go enjoy. They're ready for the groups, please. Zena,
Okay,
thank you.
welcome.
I think he has to go to his group, right? Everybody's gone to their group?
Yes, Dr. Hina.
Thank you. All right, it seems we are all back. Have we lost a couple of people? All right. Let's start. So let's look at group 3. Who's going to talk from group 3?
Hello, I'm Riham. I'm going to present my colleague's point of view on this case.
Yes.
So after our discussion in this case, first of all, we decided to meet our student, first of all, so that our student could clarify why he had to do this percentage of absence in the course. And to clarify why he did this percentage of absence, and to get back to our bylaw, because some of our courses, for example, this course, he must attend the percentage of practical to be able to attend his theoretical part. Then we take this case and submit it to a committee so that this committee could judge the case whether the student could attend the theoretical part of the course or not. Of course, our group recommended that on those cases, the students should know the bylaws from day one and clarify from day one the percentage of attendance in the courses from day one. So our decision in this case that the student should be submitted to a committee to take the decision. After, of course, meeting the student and counseling the student at first, then to be submitted to a committee.
Thank you, Reham. So can I ask, how did you decide?
After meeting the student, we decided that
Suppose the student says that I have been ill or my mother has been ill.
No, he's going to get us some documents, and he's going to get us, after meeting the student, and get us some documents so that to confirm upon his excuse, of course.
Suppose, Reham, he says that my mother is ill and here are the documents that she was hospitalized for a couple of months. So how would you then go ahead?
Yes.
Or anybody in that group, huh?
Okay, and accordingly, and after our discussion, and we confirmed upon submitting this student to a committee. And according to this committee, they are going, and so that not to get biased. So we confirmed about submitting to a committee accordingly, so that not to get biased.
All right, thank you. And I'll come back to your group again. Let's go to group 2. Who's going to present from group 2?
Okay, I'm going to present Doha.
Doha, go ahead.
Okay, to reach a decision, we have multiple factors to consider. First, the student, factors related to the student and factor related to the regulations of the faculty. First, we need to know the reasons for absence, the exact number of days he missed. Is it allowed by the administration for compensation? Are other students having the same problem? The timing for the exam, till the exam. Is it enough to offer him a compensation assignment or so? Did he receive previous warning for the attendance? We should consult his academic advisor and go with his previous academic achievement records. We should check for the faculty support system. Are there any alternative programs? If the student has genuine excuse, does the regulation allow for compensatory assignments or extra classes, or even lastly, mark deduction? And afterwards, we have to make the faculty, if it lack these regulations, to be flexible for the students with genuine excuses for the upcoming students.
All right, thank you. So you will take all the facts and then see how to help the student. All right, let's hear group 1 and then we'll discuss further.
We made such an algorithm starting by bylaw. We will get the opinion of the academic advisor if we are already allowed to make this pass or no. if the student has some legal document to pass this limitation, it's okay. If it's not, and we allowed to make this pass for him, we will go to his portfolio, go to the opinion of his shadow teacher, to his relations with colleagues to see, because you know he is absent more than 80%. So I think these factors will not be that precise. So we recommended to make a test, like test for him to see if he's good or no. And after these points, if he can pass all of these points and we are allowed to give him or her this pass, we will do it.
All right. So from what I understand, Omar and Group 1 is saying they will look at the laws and they look at the
Yes.
rules and then
Yes.
make a decision.
Yes.
Group 2 and 3 are saying, yeah, we look at the laws, but we'll also try and understand the student. We'll see what has gone wrong. We'll try and see if we can help him. So what it seems like to me, that what you all are saying is, it is that how do we make decisions? There is a conflict, so you have to make a decision. And I'll come back to you, Blami. I hope I've got that word right. And I'll come back to you. How do we make decisions? Do we decide based on our feelings, or we decide it based on our thoughts? And there's a difference in these two styles. Those who are making decisions based on thinking, they prefer logic, objectivity when making decisions. Those who are the feeling kind, they prefer to seek individual and interpersonal harmony. Let's give it to the committee so there is no bias. Let's all be together on this when making this decision. So the thinkers like principles, policy, justice, standards. They're usually truthful and have interest in data, and they know when logic is required. Feeling prefer more harmony, humane, mercy, intimacy. They're usually tactful. They're more interested in people and know when support is required. Thinkers tend to be objective, remain detached when making a decision. They can weigh the pros and cons and might argue for both sides, right? And they try to be very fair. Feelers tend to be subjective. They get personally involved when making a decision. Oh God, his mom was unwell. So sad for him. Might agree to maintain harmony, even if they, there is something going on, just to keep the thing harmonious, they may agree with somebody. And they keep striving to be compassionate. So these are the two different styles. So what we notice is that whenever you have to make a decision, and I gave a decision in a conflict, but whenever we have to make a decision, we may use either the style where we are thinking more about rules, regulations, and our thoughts, or we may look at how you feel and make a decision. So these are, again, two preference styles, thinkers and feelers. All right, does that make sense to you? That there are two, and remember, when we say, like I said, for all styles, from the middle to either thinker on one style and feeler on the other side, you could be in any part of that range. In the middle, so you're between thinker and feeler, more to the J, more to the F. So you could be on any of these things, thinker or feeler, more to T, more to F. So you could be anywhere in this range, and that percentage, how much you are nearer J, nearer F or T, is given in your result. Okay? Now we'll go to the last alphabet that is there. Any questions on this before I go to the last one? You can unmute and talk, or...
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Any
No,
questions?
what I want to say is that
Yes.
when your decision is based on feeling, to me, that means there are no rules.
Okay.
You decide case by case.
So let me clarify that. Suppose I had to make a rule The same case, let's go through the same case. This child has not had enough attendance because mother had cancer. She's been in hospital. She's passed away. The rule is there that you have to have 80% attendance. A person who thinks with T will say, I'm very sorry. You don't have 80% attendance, and I'm really sorry you lost your mom, but you can't appear for the exam. A person who's a F will say, I'm really sorry that this has happened to you. Let's see how we can help you. So they may go to the committee. Is there a way of having special circumstances? Is there something that can be done to help him? And even if he can't appear for the exam, does he have to repeat the whole year, or can he do extra classes and then do some makeup? So these people are thinking of how that person is going through a bad time, and let's help him or her out. It doesn't mean there are no rules. So wherever there are rules, but whether you approach the rules through your thinking or through your feeling is important. I hope you get that.
Okay,
Yeah?
thank you.
Doctor, in FEMAR, you consider feeling or rules when you accept our excuse?
When we will know that over the next 2 years, what happens. And remember, FEMAR is not a person. FEMAR is many people. So there are different people having different things that is there. All right, that's a good one. Now let's go to the last part, okay? And it's Wednesday. And it's a Wednesday of a time when you're in Egypt, in Cairo, in ASU Mina FRI. You've been working all week, and it's morning, you're tired, and you may be exhausted. And Randa, whoever is the director, then suddenly announces that you can have the day off. How would you like to spend that day? Okay, so these are the groups that are there. You all are going to discuss in your group. You have a day off. How are you going to spend it? Remember, 10 minutes, somebody to report. Got it? Is the instructions clear? All right. So, Zainab, they can go to their rooms, please.
Okay.
All right. Let's hear from the third group.
Yes.
Yes, third group.
Present, please.
Yes. We have 4 different needs in the group. Men for sure went to sleeping, ladies went to some hobbies and the work. So we make a schedule, timed schedule. In the morning, for sure, it's a very short notice, but we figure it out that in the morning we will go for hanging out, doing some hobbies, relaxation, not more. Then afternoon we will get a little bit long nap. Then after it, we should be energized. So we will do some work which is delayed or postponed all through the whole week. And the nightlife will be at the clinic, yeah, because if we have like a full week for femur, so we have some work like in the clinic or any urgent communication related to the work.
Thank you. So this group is going to have some social time, catch-up time, and then have some fun time also. Let's hear from group 2.
Yeah, Doctor, we have 2 scenarios. One scenario is in our group, we have a little different. We have a gender bias kind of thing. The females of our group, they prefer that we are doing shopping and everything, so we will prefer rest. But as I was discussing with my group mates, we have families. If we do not do shopping, then we will not be allowed to enter home back when we come back from training. So we have to go out. There is no option for us. And also some prefer that they might play some games or we might visit the different, because it's first time for us to come to Egypt. So we will go to different natural like pyramids and this one. So that was the consensus reached. And regarding work, it is a complete leisure activity. So no work for us, academic work. Thank you.
All right. So they're going to go in groups, either shopping or sightseeing, and maybe sightseeing and shopping. And let's hear what group 1 is going to do.
Our group all agree that we will take sleep and rest in that day, and it might be mixed activities like going out for movie, going to spa, finish some delayed tasks, but all agree that it will be the most unorganized and occupied day.
All right. So I think this group has decided they want it easy. They're going to go to the spa, they may sleep, they're just going to enjoy. And it seems like most of them are doing it individually rather than a group. So from
Yes.
what I understand, and this is what we are trying to say, is that people's sources of energy can be from the outside or from the inside. So you have either E or an I as your first alphabet. People with this preference style of extroversion prefer direct and receive energy from the outer world. So if they're tired, they want to be with people, they want to party, that's where they get their energy from. While the people who have the introversion prefer, they prefer to receive the energy from the inner world. Extroversion prefer action over reflection. They speak in order to think. They enjoy the background noise. They don't mind interruptions. They prefer speaking rather than writing, and they like to share their thoughts. Introversion prefer reflection over action. They think before they speak. They prefer peace and quiet, and they don't like interruptions. If they have a choice, they will have written communications, and they guard their thoughts unless they're sure, and only then they speak. Extroversion act and respond quickly. They're quick to tune in what is going on, instead of what is going on inside, but what is going on outside. They enjoy working in groups. They like to be in the middle of everything. Introversion consider and think deeply. They know what is going on inside more than what is going on around them. They enjoy working alone or with 1 or 2 others. They like to be in the background rather than in the forefront. So with this, we come to the end of discussing what each of these alphabets mean. So you could have any combination of this. We've told you what each of these alphabets are, and you could have any combination of that. But remember, suppose you are an INTJ. All INTJs are not the same. Bill and Ralph, both of which are no longer with Fame of Philadelphia, but who were there originally, both were INTJ. But if you look at it, and there is a step 2 to this, which is another paid version of MBTI, they have divided again it into more subdivisions of INFP and their subdivisions. Like I was telling you, you're at 0. If you're at 0 over here, then you're neither strongly N or S. But if you're here, right, you're definitely a strong I for these two things. And you're a strong T. You're a strong J, right? So it depends on how much you're towards each side. And again, they can be subdivided and they can understand. So no two types are really the same. So how can we really use this? First, before we go into that, do you agree with what your type is? What the results has come? Is it what you think you are?
Yes.
Yes.
Roughly, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Nearly yes.
Mhm.
Yep. All right.
Mhm.
So now let's see how we can put into use then. So, having understood that, one of the important ways is to use it to make decisions. And this is the Z model. What happens if we are either a thinker or a feeler? We'll use it by our preferred style because that's how we naturally think. You know, we maybe like I'm an ENTP, so that's how I would think, that kind of way. But if I'm making important decisions, this is a good way to work it out. So use all 4 preference styles. So you start with sensing. What are the facts? What are the details? Be specific, list it out, be clear. So at least you should know the facts. Then, what are the possibilities that can happen with these facts? So now think about intuition. Brainstorm, let your imagination run. What are the possible solutions? Then you think about what are the possibilities in terms of what would happen if you did this? What would happen if you did B? If your friend asked you, what would you suggest? What is the cause and effect of choosing A, B, or C? And finally, how will this decision impact all those who are involved? Is it something that I can live with if I make a decision like this? How will I feel about making this decision? What hunches do I have about how others will feel when I make this decision? So you use this model and you have to train yourself to use it because we are so used to thinking in a certain way that we don't tend to be flexible. So if we consciously use this, okay, what are the facts? How can they be used? What are the possibilities thinking wise? And then what is the impact? Then the decision you come up with would be much, much, much more useful. How do you think you can use? So we spent almost 2 hours talking about this preference style. How would you use it? Anybody can unmute and talk or write in the chat, whatever you prefer. How will you use what I've discussed with you for 2 hours? Will it help you professionally? Will it help you personally? How does this all help you?
Yeah, I think
I
by your working and in your career, يعني.
All right.
You
Thank
know
you.
what is your strong and weak points you have.
Thank you. That's very
I
useful.
think
Yeah, go ahead, Islam.
I think it may guide us to know ourselves a little bit, to deviate ourselves a little bit from the not the wrong side or the ugly side, but from to be biased toward one of the personalities. If we understood it well, I think we can deviate us away from it. We can be open to all personalities. So after knowing, after acquainting these types, I think we can like make the zigzag pattern that we can at every single attitude, at every single situation, we can exchange our personalities to get the best outcome, apart from judging the others for social.
Thank you. Anybody
Yeah.
else who would like to
It,
share?
Yeah.
it can help us in being stoic, madam. Stoic scenario, and there is something called as Chittapragni in Sanskrit word. So you have to be balanced based on the other person also. You just cannot.
Because you can understand others, you can balance yourself also. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, being stoic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Somebody else was trying to speak.
Yeah. Also,
Go
ma'am,
ahead.
I think, ma'am, because as you have categorized different kind of personality traits, so learning to work as a team members, even if you disagree with some, we have some opinions, so we can work through that. And I think over a period of time, we can cope up with these strategies and enhance our working together.
Thank you.
I think this is a tool also that allow people to compromise, to get to a middle ground when there is disagreement.
All right. So I think it helps you to understand yourself. That's the first and foremost. It also helps you to understand others. So if you, yeah, please go ahead.
Well, this is what I said. I think we have we can start understand the others, and we can use it in hiring, for example. If we want to hire someone to a certain position, we can use this personality test.
So I would hesitate to do that because that is pigeonholing people according to what they are. So, but let's come back to that in a little moment. So first is understanding yourself. Be as you're in a situation with colleagues, bosses, students, understanding other people that you're working with. And that makes you a better leadership because you know how you're making decisions. And if I'm the kind of person who's going to be only looking at rules, then I'll forget feelings. So let me have somebody in the team who balances that and has feelings. And if I don't have anybody in the team, let me also remember that I have to wear the thinking cap once in a while and talk also. So it also helps us to improve our leadership style. It helps us to communicate better. In healthcare, remember, patients also come with different personalities, preferences, or thinking styles. So being able to understand them, and there are papers which talk about how doctors and patients look at things differently. And therefore, understanding that is also important. Similarly, for students, when we are working with students, we knowing them and understanding them would help us. So one thing that I would really desist is that not to say that, okay, this person is more of a thinker, let's put him in things where there is more of thinking work. We don't want to categorize people. These are preference styles. This is how they naturally think, but people can change. Two people, suppose you did this 6 years later, would it be different? Well, it may or may not be. For example, I'm a psychiatrist. If I only work with F, I'm going to burn out because I have to learn to take some distance between the patient and me. So I've trained myself to use my T more than my F now. So our jobs, our context may help us to work in a certain way, but there are some things you do naturally. So it's better to understand that than try to say that because you're this, you do that kind of a job. All right? Okay. So everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. With this, I come to the end of today's session, which helps us in understanding our leadership styles and our preference styles. I am going to stop sharing to ask for any comments, last minute questions before we wind up for the day.
Okay, Professor. Do you think our preference is dynamic changes with time?
Well, you tend to have a certain preference styles, but you can change with time because maybe your job or your circumstances make you work in a certain way all the time. And because of which you may change it over your time. You learn a certain pattern, which then becomes more ingrained. So you may change over time.
I just have a question. Now, for example, I have a kind of personality and I like to be with people who are like same-minded. But if in FAMER, is it going to change this kind of context, or I'll be put in different groups, or how it influences? It does influence our personality, or it is just for time being?
No, we are not trying to change people's personalities, but we are definitely trying to create a community of practice. So we will be putting you in different groups at different times because we want you to make friends across everybody, and so that you'll have groups of diverse people included. You'll learn from each other. But I do feel that FEMA is a very intense course, and it causes such strong bonds that one tends to transform. One of the aims of FEMA is to have transformational learning. We aim for that. Whether everybody transforms or not is to be seen, but we try for that. I hope that answers your questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Yes,
Doha.
Dr.
Thank you,
Hannah.
others, for all the messages.
Thank you,
Just a
Professor.
question. Yes.
Thank you.
And many times I deal differently in different situations. So how you judge me, or this test judge me, in only a few questions or only a few situations? Because every time I deal different according to the personnel who I talking about or the situations.
So what
برج
this
الجوزاء
test,
دكتور محروس.
yeah, so what this test is based on, that what, like they tell you, don't think too much, answer. So what is your basic instinct? What is your basic instinct how to do things? So they've taken, and this is a validated test, especially the original MBTI, this has gone through rigorous testing. So that just looks at how you instinctively answer, and based on that instincts, it's categorized, or it has, differentiated styles. Does it answer everything and differently? No. Do we not work according to our context, time, who we are? Yes. But this is just a kind of differentiation to help you to understand some things about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad you all found it interesting. So great. Looking forward to seeing you in some more sessions. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
ma'am.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am. Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
so much.
Thank you, everybody, madam.
Thank you.
أنا أظن كده مفيش حاجة النهاردة صح؟
Thank you.
Thank you, Zainab, for managing the logistics. Really good. Thank you.
Welcome, doctor. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.